Show them.
No, I think they got word. Nobody turned up. Doors and windows shut. I couldn't see inside. And that guy who's fixing the building opposite wants more money for letting me watch from his scaffold.
A wonderful day for a wonderful purchase. Oh, fine. Good dog.
I feel quite hungry.
May God give you health, sir.
My God.
Hey! Hey! Open up! Open up!
Curwell, what are you doing, Moishe?
Futsa Capora, piece of junk. Never mind. We'll cut this shit down.
Totem man. What? I'm bleeding. Wait! Don't kill him.
You're gonna beg for mercy? After this?
We can make a deal. We have some of your people. We can exchange them.
Our people? What the hell are you talking about?
We caught some of them yesterday, trying to get to Liechtenstein, just like you.
No, I'm after Liechtenstein because I need to talk to him. I'm not his enemy. But if you know where he is, you better take me to him. Right now.
I have my orders. I'm not supposed to let anyone near him. Especially not someone who just beat my 2 best men. I'm not a fool.
Right. I'll go unarmed, if that'll convince you.
I'll trust you. But in return, you have to trust me. You can't see where we're going.
All right. But no tricks.
Those are the rules.
Wait, who is that somewhere?
We will soon find out. Let us in.
Wenches or the neighbor's daughter, any dirt you can dig up. Off you go! Oh, who have you brought now, Sam?
I'm not entirely sure. But he says he knows you, and absolutely insisted he had to talk to you.
Ah. Of course. Henry. Lord Capon of Perkstein's page. We met on my visit to Rattay. He's all right.
Lord Capon's escort and bodyguard.
Quite. Quite. But tell me, what brings you here?
Well, that's quite a long story, sir.
Well, I've got plenty of time, and actually I enjoy long stories. You know why? Because they demand a lot of wine. Please, take a seat and tell me everything.
If I'm not mistaken, Jobst sent you to von Berkhoff with a message. How did that go?
Not well. As we were approaching Trotsky, we were attacked by bandits. They killed all our men.
What?
We only got away by a hair's breadth. And we lost everything, including the message. We ended up in rags, like beggars. They wouldn't let us into the castle. After that, we tried to get by as best we could.
Good God! I need a drink now. But did you manage to deliver the message in the end?
Yes, but it was touch and go.
I like exciting stories.
Well, you'll love this one then. Apart from being ambushed and almost killed, Capon ended up on the gallows for poaching.
A nobleman on the gallows for poaching?
Well, he looked more like a tramp than a nobleman at the time. He really did have a noose round his neck, though. But it all worked out in the end.
Good gracious! But tell me, who ambushed you?
Well, that's interesting as well. Istvan Toth and some others.
What? That sneaky rat from Talmberg? He's still alive?
Not anymore.
You? Well done. Let's drink to that.
Death to the enemy.
What happened next?
Von Berghoff was attacked around the same time by the same men, so we thought we were on the same side as him. And we wanted to help him catch the bandits as a goodwill gesture.
Why didn't he catch them himself?
He tried. We found out for him that the bandits were holed up at Nabokov. When he sent his soldiers to their lair, we went with them. We wanted to be there and get Istvan.
And that's where you killed him?
No. We were nearly killed ourselves. Again.
By Istvan?
No, he wasn't there. The bandits were led by a fella who fucked us right up, and von Bergov's entire force, too. He lured us into a trap and slaughtered everyone. Me and Capon were the only survivors.
It sounds like your guardian angel never gets a moment's rest.
Yeah, there was some luck in it. But it was more that Zizka knew he could get a ransom for Capon.
Wait, Zizka? He's the one who almost killed you.
You know him?
Of course I do. Zizka is in the service of Prokop of Luxembourg, King Wenceslas's cousin.
Aye, we found that out as well.
And what the hell was Istvan Toth doing with him?
It turned out he was spying for von Berghoff. But he didn't do a great job, fortunately. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
I am starting to get confused.
That makes two of us. Maybe we'll understand better if we get drunk.
You're not holding back, I see. Your health, then. After Zizka took us prisoner, it finally became clear we were on the same side, and Istvan had to flee.
So when did you kill that bastard?
Not till some time later. Just when we thought we were out of the woods and Istvan was gone, he appeared outside the walls of Nabokov again, with von Berghoff and Markvart von Aulitz. Von Aulitz was on his way to Kuttenberg with reinforcements for Sigismund. And with the finger of God.
With the what?
A bombard.
Good lord!
Have you ever seen one? I hadn't, until they used it against us.
I've heard about the bombard. An infernal weapon. Then what?
We didn't have a chance. They blew the tower to pieces and took us all prisoner. They took us to Trotsky and tortured us. But with the help of a woman who works with Zizka, we managed to escape.
Zizka. That man always has a trick or two in reserve.
Thank God. While we were making our escape, I crossed paths with Toth, and finally took my revenge for everything he did.
Dull moment with you, I see. To happy endings, then. And where is Lord Capon? Or should I call him the Prince of Poachers?
Well, the most fitting thing to call him would be hostage, because that's what he is now.
A hostage?
That's right. Von Berghoff took him with him. And that's why I'm here, in fact.
Your original plan went badly awry, I must say.
Well, it could have been worse.
That's the way of the world. For my part, I'm forced into hiding, as you've probably noticed. They're after me as if I owed taxes. If only I knew what Jobst would say.
I know exactly what he'd say as it happens.
You do?
I spoke to Jobst just after we arrived at Suchdal. He expressly forbade me to look for you, or try to rescue Capon.
That damned... Did he say why?
Aye. He said you can look after yourself. And as a nobleman, Capon has nothing to fear in captivity.
Jobst.
I must admit, I see his point. He has plans. He wants to take advantage of the truce while it lasts. And he doesn't want to provoke Sigismund into starting warring again. And he's probably right about Capon. Nobody's going to throw away the chance of a fat ransom, or waste a nice opportunity for blackmail.
It's true I can take care of myself, but the old schemer could at least have warned me, whatever his plans might be.
Zizka sees Jobst as a pain in the arse, too. I mean, he's not fond of him. And he doesn't approve of his plan.
Then I expect he and I will see eye to eye. Although I prefer a different strategy to braining all and sundry with a mace. Even so, what brings you to me? You didn't take this risk just to tell me what Jobst is like, or that I should carry on with what I'm doing.
No. My first concern is to rescue Lord Capon, whatever schemes Jobst is dreaming up.
And then...
And also, it's about your safety.
My safety?
You know, they tortured us. Zizka, Godwin and me. They asked about Jobst's plans and about you. I'd have held out, but Godwin... He told them where you were.
Where I am? In this city, you mean? That's not such a terrible betrayal. Gutenberg is a big city. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Not that they have not tried. They almost caught you a couple of times. If it were not for my people.
That's true, of course. But I'm not going to bear a grudge. The executioner always gets what he wants. And if he hadn't, we wouldn't be talking right now.
I apologize.
No need. It's not your fault. Nevertheless, let's turn the page. Capon. How do you plan to free him?
That's exactly why I came to see you.
Oh. How's that?
Because you move in certain circles.
And...
You conspire. You hear all the rumors.
So?
So you might know where they're holding him.
Sigismund confiscated the property of some burghers and noblemen in the city when they opposed him, and he divided the property up between his loyal followers. He seized Malyshoff Fortress from the Rutards, for instance. And didn't you say, Sam, that he gifted it to von Berkoff?
Yes, that is so.
That was before von Berkoff was in these parts. But if he's here now, where else would he be but in Malyshoff? And if von Berkoff is there...
That's where his captive will be.
Correct. Capon is at Malyshoff Fortress.
Well, that's fucked then. How the hell three of us conquer a fortress, and one of us a woman?
That's a conquest I'd like to see. It would go down in history.
The history of suicidal madness.
You can't just launch an assault on Malyshoff. It's a strong fortress. We'll need a cunning plan.
Or long ladders and lots of men. That could be arranged, maybe.
Careful! Jobst ordered us not to stir up trouble. And this would be serious trouble. But if Capon simply vanished...
Vanished how, exactly?
I don't know yet. But like I said, Malyshoff belonged to the Rutards. And I'm sure they're not keen on the new tenant. I think if you pay a visit to Sir Kunslin Rutard and convince him you have common interests, he'll be happy to think up a solution with you.
Like what?
Who knows? Perhaps Lord Rutard knows of a back door into his old home, and he might not be averse to an arrangement with someone who'll help him take revenge.
Someone like you.
Well, I wouldn't get my hopes up. But it's the best we've got, and there's no harm in trying. Where can I find this Kunslin?
Sigismund seized his fortress, but, surprisingly, he let him keep his palace in the city. It's right next to the Italian court.
All right. I'll give it a go.
Once you have some news, you know where to find me. Is there anything you want to know before you go?
All right. I'll set off now.
Good luck. It was good to see you again, Henry. And be careful. There's bound to be spies swarming around the palace. This city isn't safe.
Tell me about it. Danger is my daily bread these days.
Excuse me.
Come here.
A guten Tag.
You have a fine.
It looks better already. Here we are.
It's possible. They say she's mad for it. But the old man isn't up to it anymore. He wanted her to stop pestering him. So he made a deal with Dirk Stallion.
Christ. Oh, wait, didn't Dirk used to come to your place a lot too?
Oh, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse.
Well, sure.
I feel quite hungry.
It happens. Just watch where you're going.
Looks like it.
Here it comes.
What can I say?
You said you needed some help with something. What's going on?
Something's happened. Oh,
real mess. And I need help from someone reliable.
What is it?
When I was fishing around for information about Liechtenstein, I cast the net a bit too wide. And one of the servant girls I questioned was just found dead.
You think she was killed because of you?
I don't know. If I did, I wouldn't be asking you for help.
I'll help you. Tell me all about it. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She was an ordinary, pretty girl. She worked as a maid. I heard they found her all hacked up, tossed somewhere by the town wall. Oh, folk in town are saying it was absolute slaughter. They took the body to the morgue by the St. Peter and St. Paul cemetery.
I'll go take a look at her. See if I can find anything.
I think that would be for the best. Though, I don't think it'll be a very pretty sight. You can ask the gravedigger for details. He'll know the most.
When did you last see the girl?
Around a week ago?
And did you notice anything suspicious about her?
Not at all. She was always cheerful, lively. She was looking forward to a dance. Though I'm afraid she won't be dancing ever again.
What was Alice trying to find out for you?
She always brought me the freshest gossip overheard from her master. And lately, what the other maids in town were saying.
And did you learn anything important from her? Something someone would kill her for?
That's the thing. All she brought me was gossip. Who was cheating on who wasn't going to confession, those sorts of things. So you'll have to figure out the rest for yourself.
What about your other girls? Are they all right?
Yes, fortunately. I'm careful enough to keep them pretty much in the dark about my plans. That's why Alice's death shocked me so much.
What are you gonna do next?
I'd like to ask the others if they noticed anything suspicious. If someone is following them and the like, but...
But you don't want to scare them.
I'm scared myself. For them. Maybe nobody knows about them yet. If someone was to follow me, I could give them away. And I can't risk that. I don't want anyone else to die because of me.
What if I go and see them?
They don't know you, Henry. You'd only scare them. I'll figure something out. In the meantime, find out everything you can about Alice.
Do you think there could be something bigger behind the murder?
I don't know. Maybe she just got caught up in something. But it's strange. Why would someone do her like that? That's the kind of thing you do when you want to send someone a message.
Why did you ask me in particular for help?
Because you're the only one I know here.
Uh-huh.
But don't take it the wrong way. I'm actually glad it's you. You're pretty reliable. Not even Zhishka would be of much help to me here.
Uh-huh. Thanks. I know everything I need.
Good. Go to that graveyard, talk to the gravedigger, and take a look at that poor girl's body. In the meantime, I'll try to find out more. Then we'll put it all together, and I'll be damned if we can't come up with something. So what's it gonna be?
I need something to eat.
Easy. Easy. Nice and slow. Everything all right? Hey?
Slow down, idiot! You almost ran me over!
Go! I should eat something.
Greetings.
God greetings. You have a kind master, eh, Matt? God bless you.
Good afternoon, sir.
You must be the local gravedigger.
That's right. They call me František. At least them that can speak do.
I'm Henry.
Greetings, Henry. What do you need?
I hear there was a murder here recently. Some young girl?
True. True. She's lying in the morgue. But who the hell are you? Another Gawker?
Another? Why would anybody come to look at her?
People ain't got no respect. As soon as news spread about what was done to her, folk are always turning up to have a gawk. So if you ain't one of them Gawkers, you must be one of them other types. Well, no, you can't shave her. No, no thumb for a souvenir.
I don't want to take anything. I need to find something out.
Like what exactly?
Who killed her?
Why?
I'm worried something might happen to my friend.
That's true. She wasn't the first, and we can only pray that she'll be the last. It's true that Lumiere ain't shown no interest in her yet. But I wouldn't expect that from him no more.
Who's this Lumiere? Another one of those gawkers and collectors?
No, no. He actually tried to help.
Help? How?
Well, he was investigating them others.
Right. You said she wasn't the first.
Aye. We had a couple of similar cases. Lumiere said they was all killed by the same murderer.
And who is this Lumiere?
He used to work for the local bailiff. I think he knew the first one what was killed, but that was a long time ago.
Do you remember how many girls were killed?
You mean you don't know nothing about it? Here, even the sparrows are squawking about it.
I haven't been in Kuttenberg very long.
I see. There's been one every few weeks for the past year.
Do you know where the last one got killed?
I heard some talk about it when they brought her here. But what do you want to do there?
Look for clues. Footprints, blood, anything.
That can help you?
That's worth a try.
I heard she was killed by the town walls, close to the Hole in the Wall, a dodgy tavern in the Hoprink neighborhood.
Thanks. What's this Lumiere got to do with this?
Well, like I told you, he used to work for the bailiff. I think he was a scribe.
A scribe keeps records in the Black Chronicle, though I've never heard of one doing his own investigations.
Well, the old bailiff wasn't all that interested in the common folk. But Lumiere, he was quite helpful. Folk heard about it and went to him with whatever was troubling them.
I'd like to speak with Lumiere. Do you know where I can find him?
At his home in Bohemia Street, that's near the church. You won't find him at the bailiff's no more. I don't know exactly why, though. Seems he had some quarrel with the bailiff.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
It's my pleasure, especially helping someone from the land of the living again. Actually, wait a mo. Speaking of the living, there's a girl what comes here and grieves over that dead maid. I think her name is Barbara.
And do you know where I could find her?
She said she serves in one of the burgers' houses. So either there or in the morgue with that poor dead girl.
Thanks again, Master Gravedigger.
Farewell.
Are you Barbara? I'm told you knew Alice.
Alice? Aye, she was almost like a sister to me. We served together for years, in the same house. Why'd you ask? Who are you?
I'm trying to find out who did this to her. I'm afraid the killer might want to go after my friend as well.
Oh, I understand.
Who did you serve?
Our master is a local merchant. He is trying his hand at trading wine.
How did Alice get along with your master?
Fine. Just like with everyone. Our master is a bit strict, but he's fair.
What's his name? Can I speak to him?
Why? But you can't see him anyway. He's on a trade trip to Prague.
It occurred to me that maybe he could have done it.
No, he couldn't. He was gone when it happened. He hadn't been home in several weeks. And besides, why would he kill them others too? He never even knew them.
I heard about that. And also about Lumir.
Well, if you're interested, go and see him. Maybe you'll catch him sober enough to talk sense.
Do you know of any suitors she might have had?
I know she was seeing someone. Why?
I'd like to talk to him as well.
But I don't know who it was. Alice said he was rich and dressed nicely. But she promised him she'd never tell anyone his name.
And you never saw him?
No, never. I don't even know where she met with him.
Do you know what exactly happened to Alice?
No. Nobody saw or heard nothing. One day, she just didn't come home. And then, I found her. Like this.
What do you mean, like this?
You haven't seen her yet, have
I haven't.
Then don't. It's a horrible thing to say. She was such a pretty girl. And I didn't even leave that untouched.
What do you mean?
Who could have cut off her hair like that? And why?
Sir, I'll leave you to mourning. So, let's see what we have here. My God! Someone really did a number on her. Oh, they ripped open her entire belly. And they didn't stop there. There must have been buckets of blood. Jesus Christ. There's hardly any blood left in her. The place I found her must look like a slaughterhouse. I should go there and take a look. Her lips are bloody, but nothing more. Tongue still in place. But if he killed her for blabbing, I reckon he'd have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? These are more like chops than cuts. Somebody must have taken a sword to her. Knife wounds would be smaller, and an axe would have made a bigger mess. But it couldn't have been a long sword. That would have been clumsy. It was something shorter and nimbler. God, that madman cut off both her breasts and bits of flesh. But what did he do with it all afterwards? Did he really keep all the pieces? Nobody could be that sick, could they? Her face is a little bruised and cut, but nobody cut her there. But she has a dark ring around her neck. Was she strangled? The murderer must have had pretty strong hands, and her hair is all matted with blood and hacked off. I don't even know what colour it was. Maybe there's something more to it. What if the murderer kept her hair like some kind of sick trophy? Just some scratches and bruises, that's all. The killer probably surprised her. She didn't even have time to defend herself. So, the murderer must have awfully strong hands, because he strangled her and left a dark ring around her neck. Then he took a short sword or saber and started hacking at her. She's missing parts of her torso, but they aren't by the body. He also cut off most of her hair.
I'm so
He cut off her breasts, but left her tongue, then left her lying there for all to see. To send a message, maybe? Or a warning? Only if it was a warning for telltales, he would have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? I don't know why he killed her, but I don't think it's because of Catherine.
Excuse me.
How many times do I have to tell you? Don't chuck your shit.
Blessings to you.
This is the place. There's a lot of blood and some footprints. But I'm not sure how much more I'll be able to find. Christ, that's a lot of blood. But after seeing what they did to the girl, I'm not surprised. I can't make anything out of this. The whole town's been walking around here. There could have been one killer or a dozen. I'm surprised I haven't completely trampled out the blood. It's hard to make out, but I think I see some slashing from a blade. I'm not sure I'll be able to find any remains. I wonder what happened to them. So, there's still a lot of blood left, but I expected even more. I found some faint blade marks. Either the others were trampled out, or someone skilled was wielding it. It didn't look to me like any remains were left lying around. I've no idea what he did with them. Did he keep them or throw them away?
God bless.
You silly doggy.
start.
Lumiere?
Oh. Christ, my head. Not so loud.
I need to ask you something.
I said not so loud. I have a splitting headache.
That's some hangover. He's useless to me like this. Unless I'm willing to wait for him to sleep it off, I'll have to get him some kind of cure or potion. This should sober him. No. Not... Maybe...
Oh.
Don't lie. Where would you have learned how to do that? Do you think it's hard? Greetings.
Willkommen. Ich bin gleich bei dir. Was möchtest du?
I'll have a look.
I'm glad you found what you were looking for.
Lumiere? Do you hear me? Oh, he's still... This should sober... Here. Drink up. Better?
What? Who... What are you doing here? Who are you?
My name is Henry.
And what do you want from me?
I'm trying to find out who killed a certain girl. And I was sent to you.
To me? What for?
Are you Lumiere from the rat house? The scribe?
I used to be. Now I'm just Lumiere the man.
Well, you don't look crazy.
Yeah. But I am. I see things in my head that aren't real. And then I point my finger at the wrong people. I'm the biggest madman in Kuttenberg.
But I need your help.
If I were you, lad, I'd leave it be. You can't help that girl anymore, anyway. You'll just end up hurting yourself.
Come now, Lumiere.
Poor girls. Nobody was all that interested in it, except for me. We let it be in the end. We let a monster walk among us. No way. You can't solve this yourself.
I need to know the truth. To find the one responsible.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, lad. But it's no use. I searched high and low. And what did I get out of it? Just mockery. What makes you think you can find out more than I did?
Because I'm stubborn, and I don't have any other choice. I'll get to the truth, no matter what.
You think that will suffice?
If not, I'd have been dead long ago. Bled out from a human arrow.
All right. Talk to me. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She worked as a maid.
A maid? That fits. Yarka was a maid too. As were most of the other victims. What did she look like? What did he do to her?
I think that he strangled her first, and then went at her with a longer blade and disemboweled her.
Did you notice the strangulation right away? It took me a while. Maybe you really will track him down.
Do you think it's the same murder?
Counting your girl, that makes 6 victims who were first strangled and then mutilated. If it's not all the same person, they must be collaborating somehow.
This is the 6th one. How long has he been killing?
Probably about a year now. Sometimes it takes him months, sometimes weeks. But I'm including missing girls, Stanya and Zdena.
Why are you counting the missing girls?
Because I think someone killed them, and we just haven't found them yet.
Did the dead girls have anything in common?
Aside from being pretty young girls with no proper family or background, no. I couldn't find much.
Do you think somebody is killing them because they're poor, and nobody will miss them?
Sir?
But why does he even kill in the first place?
I don't know. Maybe he hates women. Damn.
What can you tell me about Yarka?
She wasn't the first. But thanks to her, people started taking in. She was a maid in a German family. By all accounts, she was a pious, polite girl. She was orphaned as a child. The priest from the church, they found her body tossed behind a barn at the edge of town.
Did you have any suspects?
At first, I thought the son from that family did it. But then I changed my mind.
Why?
Well, for one, I remembered the 2 girls before her who ended up almost the same. Besides that, when I talked to the lad, he seemed he wasn't the least bit interested in Yarka. Then his mother told me that they threw her out a week before the murder because she was a harlot who stayed out till all hours of the night. That really surprised me. Maybe he...
What about Stanya?
She was an alehouse.
You said her body was never found. Maybe she just got out.
You have no idea how much I'd like to believe that. Only there was a lot. Unfortunately, the investigation wasn't very successful. The hole is a world of its own.
Did you suspect anybody?
You could suspect every second man there. The innkeeper, Mole, definitely knew Stanya, since she worked for him. But he is...
So if I want to learn anything more, I have to ask this Mole? In the hole?
Yeah. He still runs the place.
And what about that Zdena? You said her body was never found.
Exactly. But to tell the truth, nobody spent much time. Besides Alice, Zdena was the most recent victim. It's only been a few weeks since she went missing, but I suppose nobody wanted...
But if her body was never found, how do you know she...
Because she was the same type as the other girls. Maybe the prettiest of them all. Young, beautiful. I never could pin it on her, though. She always found some way to get out of it.
Maybe she robbed the wrong people.
Maybe. She had a partner in crime by the name of Strunad. Quite a number. When I asked him about Zdena, he told me he'd rather rip his own tongue out than talk.
Do you think he'd be more forthcoming?
He might be. You're not know. Besides, it might still be fresh in his memory.
And what about the other...
It all started with them, though nobody did much about it at the time. The first one worked. She'd only been in town for a short while, and nobody really knew her. But the other one, Libushka, she was from Loretz. She was a maidservant, too. I also talked to her mother. She said she was really... She knew she was pretty, and knew she...
You mean she wanted someone...
That's what it sounded like. But her mother never found...
Interesting. I'll try to see what...
In the graveyard. It's sad to say, but we can't help those 2 dead girls now. And they can't help us with our investigation, either. There's nobody else left.
Why were you looking into it? Who were those dead girls to you?
Gutenberg is a big city with a lot of people. The bailiff was always running from hell to Hades.
But there are more than just rich burgers and...
Exactly. So when one of them came to the bailiff's one...
Behind the bailiff's back?
Not really. Andreas...
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it.
Did you have any...
You can always find... I always dragged the most suspicious ones to the body and the...
Couldn't it have just been an act?
Fainting? Vomiting?
Can you sum it all up for us?
We have 6 victims here. And unfortunately, we only know a little about the last. Of the remaining 4, the first to be killed was the maidservant, Yarka. The next was Stanya. They both hung around a tavern, and the last victim, well, they all had...
Good.
When you learn something more, you've aroused a bit of...
I wanted to... Did the dead girls have anything in...
Aside from being...
Do you think somebody is...
Certainly.
But why does he...
I don't know.
Good.
When you learn you've aroused...